history of the education calendar, students wrote 5 national examinations. The Kenya National Examination Council (NAC) prepared 2 sets of KCPE and KCSE exams done in March and December respectively, with another transitional examination for grade 6 learners done in late December. This was occasioned by the changes in the education calendar, which was disrupted in the year 2020 following the spread of coronavirus. Our very own Andren Kilemi now unpacks the 2022 events in the education sector, including government strategies to ensure 100% transition.
The beginning of the year 2022 came as a continuation of a massively disrupted education calendar occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic, which made learners stay away from class for a record 9 months. As such, 2022, which was termed as the reset year for the country's education system, came with its fair share of baggage, including a crammed-up calendar, a record 5 national examinations, not forgetting exhausted learners and parents who had little time to prepare financially for the marathon school terms. This, plus a transition in the highest-ranking office of Cabinet Secretary. The year started on a terrible footing, particularly for learners in the troubled Kerio Valley, with close to 50 schools closed indefinitely due to banditry attacks which made many families flee their homes to safer areas. In the second week of January, Kenyans woke up to harrowing images of students of St. Benedict's Aror Girls in Elgeyo Marakwet who were held hostage by unknown bandits who stormed the school where the students were taking lunch at the school's dining hall. But it was the banditry attack on the Tot High School bus in February, which left 1 dead and 13 students injured, that prompted the government to act, with the then Interior CS Fred Matiang'i saying it will not be business as usual. This came as candidates for KCPE and KCSE for the year 2021 were getting ready to sit for their national examinations in March. The exams came with an increase in the number of cheating cases, increasing by 154 from the previous year, which saw the results of 441 KCSE students cancelled. This came as the campaigns for the 2022 general election were heating up, where the CBC became a political dog whistle, with a section of those in the campaign trail even threatening to scrap off the new system, saying it was not only tasking on the parents but also expensive. The elections came and went, and with it came a change of guard at Jogoo House. On the 22nd of October 2022, Professor George Omore Magoha, who served as Education Cabinet Secretary since 2019, and the man who played a huge role in the rollout of the CBC, exited office, handing over to his successor, CS Ezekiel Machogu, a former legislature. Machogu would then be tasked with ensuring education standards go even higher.
Education is a key, and we cannot be able to entertain, we cannot be able to accommodate any kind of malpractice, any kind of leakage, any kind of thing that will be able to compromise the integrity of this national exam.
Machogu's first assignment as an education CS was to oversee the 2022 national examinations, the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education, Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, and the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment KPSEA. Machogu became the first education CS in Kenya's history to oversee 3 national examinations in a year. The appointment of CS Machogu in the education docket came at a time when the education sector was experiencing major reforms, with the debate on where junior secondary school should be domiciled igniting different reactions.
Junior secondary be domiciled in primary schools.
Junior secondary school is a secondary school curriculum, and in that respect, it is best placed in the secondary school.
It is later, towards the end of the year 2022, that the confusion around where learners in grades 7, 8, and 9 should be undertaking their studies was settled. The Presidential Party on Education Reform, tasked to review the competency-based curriculum, recommended that learners remain in the existing primary schools. The Raphael Munavu-led committee further recommended that the grade 6 assessment will not be used for placement in junior secondary school, but will instead be used to monitor learning progress for learners. Principal Secretary for Education Belio Kipsang hinted at the government's plan to abolish boarding primary school for pupils in grade 1 to 9 in what he said would make education more affordable, a move that was, however, criticized and praised in equal measure.
We should discuss as a country whether they are going to be boarding, because not all children can attend this school. In pastoralist communities, for example, it is very hard to sustain junior secondary school that is not boarding.
Boarding schools were there to serve a purpose, and if they are to be removed, I'm sure there will be enough public participation.
Among key plans by the government to ensure effective implementation of the competency-based curriculum that has been termed as demanding by many is employment of an extra 30,000 teachers that will teach in junior secondary schools, which will now be domiciled in the existing primary schools. The Ministry of Education, the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, plus the Teachers Service Commission (TSC) are expected to fast-track the process of retooling teachers set to be deployed to teach grade 7 pupils to ensure they are CBC compliant.
We have TSC come with a conclusive report on this recruitment of these teachers, the 30,000. So that if we say, for example, how many are you recruiting in Nandi County, then they would give us a breakdown.
For now, it is relief for learners, teachers, parents, and other education stakeholders as the education calendar resumes its normalcy in January when schools reopen after a 2-year disruption occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic. However, the new year may come with new challenges for the government, as both teacher unions, that is NAT and KUPPET, have demanded increases in salary of 60% and 70% respectively, or they call for industrial action. Andrin Kilemi, TV 47.
Well, thank you for that.